Good morning. We are happy to have the Heartsonger Choir lead us into the morning, and open your hearts to the joy as you get to just sit back and be washed over with their love to you. Look at their cute outfits. Isn't that fun? Very cute. Very cute. Awesome song, and that has to do exactly with what we're talking about today. So that was a perfect opening. And now I'm going to invite this special moment of the women's retreat, the singers, the gals, the ladies. They're going to come forward and share a piece of their experience with you through the song that we sang throughout the weekend. So come on forward. I have the song sheets here in case you're a little do anybody need a sheet?
Stand behind you.
You will, okay. Come on, crowd on in.
Stay right there.
They're a pushy crowd.
Oh, she wants her to hide.
Are we ready?
Take me with you, I'm ready to go. Let the winds of change shape and blow. Now I am with
you do it? Did you win? Did you blow with the wind? Awesome, awesome. All right, so now's the time to have our little children come up. We have some costumes to enjoy. So let's have the little ones come forward.
So we're going to do our ritual right now where we wave to the camera. We normally do that during the song, but if you want to turn around and let everybody know in the world that you're here. And they're out there, but we're all here together for today's service. I'm Charlie Bourne, practitioner this morning, and we have Linda on the board desk, and we have Ronnie and Doug as ushers, and then we have our wonderful choir today, and we'll have an incredible talk today by Reverend Sue, no pressure. But today is a good day, and I'm glad everybody's here today. It's fun to be here after we get some rain and I hear it rained really hard last Sunday here. We were down in Sacramento, and it rained hard there, well, but I loved it. I just loved it. So if there's anybody new today that would like an information packet, just raise your hand and we'll bring you one, or if you want to pick one up on the way out, you can do that as well. And so we're going to actually move right into some announcements, and I think I'm going to have Sue come up first. She's going to talk about classes. Really important.
Very important stuff. Get your notebooks out. So we have a whole slew of new classes starting for November and a little bit into December. So they're shorter classes, and the first one is a certificated class. It's one I recently taught in the evening. Mary is going to do it now in the day for those of you that are interested. This is a new curriculum on learning the art and science of doing a science of mind treatment, our form of affirmative prayer. And the class that I just finished, the people really appreciated it. They felt like they were really on solid ground. So that starts this week on Tuesday at 1 o'clock, and there's a reduced price that ends today, so you'll want to see Linda to sign up for that. Shirley Wade is doing a Transforming Stress, the Heart Math Solution. She has done a lot of research and study, and she's well informed on the heart math process, so she's eager to share this with you on November 2nd, and that'll be in the afternoon at 3 o'clock. And that is all based on the Heart Math program that teaches us to live and breathe and be in that heart-based area of our being, to interface with the world and allow stress to just dissipate when we allow ourselves to live from that idea. I'll be doing an advanced spirituality exploring the prophecy of Isaiah, and that again is based on Greg Braden, who seems to be my new go-to man this last few months of researching all of his work. And this one in particular will let us explore prophecy and some of the great ideas in the ancient teachings. And I'm going to do it on a afternoon class at 3 to 5, and the same class from 7 to 8:30 for those of you that prefer an evening. And then I'm doing Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. It is a foundational class for the teaching, so if you're new to our philosophy at all and you want to know what some of these terms mean that we talk about, this is a beautiful way to feel like you really understand and are a part of the teaching, and it's a great way to build community. That will be Thursday nights, 6:30 to 8:30. I also do that one on Zoom. And I think the other one is next week. We have our guest, Reverend Bonnie Anderson and Reverend Andy Anderson. Andy will do his music, which we just absolutely fall apart over. And Bonnie will be giving the message. And they're going to do a workshop afterwards. So it's going to be called Nothing is Impossible, Everything is Possible. So we look forward to that. Kind of plan your Sunday to spend a few more hours with us and entertain yourself. And then finally, the book club, The Alchemist, one of my favorite books. That's what Robin is going to explore with you, the book club group, and you're happy to join. She's happy to have you join that starting Monday, November 8th from 2 to 4. So I'll have Charlie go ahead and finish the rest of these.
I also want to remind you that everybody got a flyer this morning, so all the information's in there. And we also have our new awareness that just went out. And if you're not on the mailing for the awareness, you can sign up or you can pick one up in the back. But there's all kinds of rich information. And last, I wanted to remind you too that now on our website, you can sign up for a class. You just do the right click and you can pay that way and be all signed up and not have to actually deal with all the forms and everything here. So that's an exciting new thing. And now I got to keep track of what Sue did and did not say. Did you talk about the Tao of watercolor? Nope. Okay. So that's a class with Sherry and Wyndham. That's going to be November 22nd, 9:30 to 12. And there's a minimum of 4 students, a maximum of 6.
It starts November 1st.
Oh, okay. So anyway, November 1st through November 22nd. So if you show up on the 22nd, it's too late. And then we have a sacred drum circle this evening with Reverend Lynn. Monday night, November 1st. 7:15. I can do it. I already told Kurt I got up on the wrong side of bed, but I'm back for the. When I get up here for the treatment, it's going to be right on.
It's going to be so awesome.
So fall back, daylight saving ends, Sunday, November 7th.
Very good.
I think that covers everything. Well, Reverend Dr. Mary has one. Okay, come on up.
Sorry I'm late. I'm doing a new class. Sue did this one previously in the evening, and now I'm doing it during the day. It starts Tuesday. It's called The Art and Science of Spiritual Mind Treatment. And I'll tell you, that is one incredibly powerful class. I've been working with the workbooks and all that, and I have the syllabus here. So I'll leave them in the back or come and see me. And it starts Tuesday, and it's from 1 to 3 p.m. Thank you.
So you got to hear that one twice. So you got it. But you got to hear it from Mary, so that's perfect. So at this point, we're going to invite Craig up to do the reading, and then we'll follow that up with an invitation to the bell and then a spiritual mind treatment. And just a reminder, I'm available and Dr. Mary's available afterwards for support if you'd like prayer support. Craig?
The inspiration for this reading comes from Rumi, but the inspiration for the opening song was from Rumi. But here are the words of Rumi. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to even talk about. Ideas, language, Even the phrase each other doesn't make any sense. The breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you. Don't go back to sleep. You must ask for what you really want. Don't go back to sleep. People are going back and forth across the door sill where the two worlds touch. The door is round and it is open. Don't go back to sleep.
Please join with me as I recognize, after listening to the sound of the bell and allowing myself to sink down deeper into my soul self, that I recognize that there's just one thing going on. There's one God, one love, one spirit, always present. And I know for everyone here that shows up in each and every one of us in the most unique and beautiful way. And so I allow myself to sink down even further and to recognize that there is a soul call, a call of the soul to find that place, to find that field where we can all be and meet and know that a world does work for all. And it's also a place of love and inspiration and excitement and one of calm. And so I know that exists for each and every one of us. I know that exists for this center that is a beacon for others to come and enjoy and share in community and to celebrate all of life. So we allow the light to be strong, to be a strong beacon, to open the doors and to welcome everyone into this center with love. So today I open my mind and open my heart to the words of Reverend Sue as she shares her message, her heart, and her soul's call. So I give thanks for today, for this community, and for all that's going on in the world that's working towards peace and harmony and love and working towards the world that works for all. So I release these words into law, knowing full well it is so, and together we say, and so it is. Reverend Sue?
Thank you, Charlie, Judy, choir. So it's funny, I've got a little bit of a bubble of shyness here because I tried a joke on my son, and he said, you know, you should check the crowd out first, Mom. And I said, ouch. Because when I said, oh, I got this funny joke, I can't wait to tell him. It's a Halloween joke. And it's from Louis Black, that comedian. I thought it was so funny, but he said, first check out with them how they feel about candy corn. So I'm going to ask him to follow his advice. How do you feel about candy corn? Okay, well, here it goes. The worst thing about Halloween is, of course, candy corn. It's unbelievable to me. Candy corn is the only candy in the history of America that's never been advertised. And there's a reason. All of the candy corn that was ever made was made in 1911. And so since nobody eats that stuff, every year there's a ton of it left over. Take that, Chris Miller. But he's sent me a meme right after that. No sooner did we have this conversation that he got a meme that said, "To all the candy corn haters, can't stop, won't stop." Showed somebody. Anyway, enough of candy corn. Ugh. So thank you for reading that poem so powerfully, Craig, and this beautiful song. I was hoping that that would be part of our program today because the verse highlights what the message is today about, I'll meet you there. The whole month has been the theme of going further together. And so the highlight is the realization of the spiritual realm that we speak of and the space of non-judgment and oneness. So when we turn back to the quantum theory, we call this field, from Greg Braden's words, the divine matrix. We've heard that term before, or simply just the field. And the theme from all of the Vedic texts, these are 5,000 BC scriptures that influence us still today, and the Dead Sea Scrolls as well, they suggest that the world is actually a mirror of things happening in a realm that we cannot see from our vantage point in time and space, yet we are interacting with it and we are a part of it. So scholars have summarized the content stating that all events imply, this is Greg Braden, what happens on earth is but a pale reflection of the greater ultimate reality. And so another way to look at this comes from Anthony DeMello, and I always appreciate his little stories, because to consider what kind of person is showing up in this field that we speak of, that Rumi points to. And so the question from the student was, what kind of person does enlightenment produce? And the master said, to be public-spirited and belong to no party, to move without being bound to any given course, to take things as they come, have no remorse for the past, no anxiety for the future, to move when pushed, to come when dragged, to be like a mighty gale, like a feather in the wind, like weeds floating on a river, like a millstone meekly grinding, to love all creation equally as heaven and earth are equal to all. Such is the product of enlightenment. Well, hearing those words, the young disciple cried, "What sort of teaching is that?" And he walked away, never to return. So how many times, knowing this call, have we walked away? The universe is calling us. Good old Eric Butterworth book from the past. The universe is calling us. The situations that we have allowed ourselves to be upset by, influenced by, motivated by, propelled by, all of the different things that have stirred in our heart these past few years is a testimony to the truth as we realize that we have a call to be enlightened, to be aware, to wake up to a greater understanding. So I will meet you there is a beautiful blessing. But where is this place that we speak of? Where is this field of ideas beyond right and wrong? And we cannot see outside of us what we fail to see inside. So we're living in this time of a great transition, powerful time to be on this planet. We are each naming this reality that we are in from a different point of view. We have different emotions, of course, different triggers of concern. We can't simply ignore or be asked to spiritually bypass what's going on in the world around us. These conditions are all calling for us to look deeply at our moral and spiritual values. Lives are being lost due to COVID. Weather patterns are disrupting lives and homes. Fires are burning our land and trees, and social division is being witnessed. We see this every day. Political distress is tearing at us, and gun violence is threatening the safety in our schools and in our marketplaces. We know that. So we come to a center, we come to our spiritual refuge to anchor in a truth, to remember that there is something greater. There is something greater than all of this. There is an intelligence and a love that is exactly the field that we speak of. In that field, it is a field of love, and we meet there. Our consciousness is always shifting and evolving. It's always moving and experiencing and taking in, and it's guided sometimes by our emotions and our feelings. Sometimes we identify with the psychological self. Other times, those emotions and feelings are what pulls us. Our thinking about things is always entertaining us. It's who we are. It's by life now and the issues before us. But the great teacher Buddha told us one very important thing. He reminded us when he left his field of the family and that's royal support of being held back from having to see any of the things in the world. And so first thing he recognized again and again, the first time he crossed that threshold out into the world was suffering. And he reminds us that life is suffering. We can't bypass it. We have to walk through it. To realize this greater love, he also reminds us it is an opportunity to develop your heart of compassion and forgiveness. That's what the infinite love, that's what this field is calling for us, guiding us towards. The other concept of the Buddhist practice is the impermanence of all things. So all of these things, all thoughts, all things, they're always changing. So we want to discover that what we have clung to, what we have been continuing to look into the past about and continuing to complain in our conversations at the table today, they're causing us more suffering and discontent. And another level of restlessness. We keep calling them forward, and we need to allow ourselves some time to wash it with forgiveness, compassion, and love, to allow things to transform. That's the evolution of life. That is the evolution of our soul. And there was a part in this that, as I was studying some of Greg Braden's work, he said it's like Jesus meeting his destiny. He knew. He was wise enough to know what was before him. But he walked anyway, and he used that time of resurrection and ascension to reveal the field of possibility, the field of greater love and understanding. Now, Anthony DeMello has another little sweet little story here to the student. The student asking, "How shall I experience my oneness with creation?" The master's advice was, by listening. "And how am I to listen?" said the student. "Become an ear that gives heed to every single thing the universe is saying. The moment you hear something you yourself are saying, stop." So we want to listen to the universe and watch when that place of division rises up in us and suddenly we are on the other side. So this listening in this vast field of love is our call. And it's a call to open our hearts. And Ram Dass reminds us that Christ had said, "I have come to bring you to the Father. I am the Father, and the Father is me. You know not who I am. Let those who have ears hear. Quiet the mind. Be free of clinging to the molds and models and all the thought forms." Now, sometimes when I read passages that Jesus was supposed to have said, I'm like, huh? Do I have the ears to hear what they are saying here? And I realize it's about opening the heart. And Ram Dass goes on to say, consume the emotions, consume all the emotions into the flow of all forms of life until you are just flowing in and out. How beautiful is that? Because we know when we are triggered, we know it. Our heart gets hard. Our face gets distorted. Our voice gets tense. There's a flowing in and a flowing out where this grace continues. So I was listening to the World Parliament the Parliament of World Religions. I always say that backwards. I even wrote it down in front of me. Marianne Williamson. She gave a very profound talk, and it was very brief, but she described it in her terms that we have I knew it. I am living the moment of my fear, desacralized, desacralized. I keep wanting to make it a sacrum. And I practiced and I practiced, but see, what won out in me? My fear. You're going to really butcher that word. So I did, but I had backup. I had the witch. Okay, so this idea, though, she's going on to say, our level of devotion and reverence for the world, our deep moral consideration for one another and the earth and the future is diminished and is being replaced with matters that have nothing to do with the human heart. I think that's why we get so bogged down. What's going on hurts our heart, and we think that has nothing to do. We realize this has nothing to do with love. What's going on? What's going on? I'm hungry to find that field where we get along again. So she goes on to say that there is more of these problems that could diminish if we turn to the deep spiritual laws that we have separated ourselves from, that have caused this demoralization. We need to atone. We need to make amends. We're invited to do this. We see and feel the shame. We can feel and see what we have been doing to one another. That's why it hurts so much. These times are calling us to the field of possibility, the field of this greater love. We need to stand by what we know to be true instead of disconnecting from the suffering. We need to move right into the middle of it and be the love, to love one another. Now, here's something she said, and Charlie and I both were really captured because she said, you know, when Jesus said, love one another, he wasn't kidding. When Jesus said, walk humbly with God, he wasn't kidding. When Jesus said we should show compassion, he wasn't kidding. She's so powerful. Whatever the teacher, the lessons, the love, and peace that needs to be put into practice, we know that. And the worship that we do and the rituals that we do together can help activate this love, activate it to its fullest potential. And we want to do it for love. So finally, in her words, the healing of the world. When Jesus told the disciples to go out and teach the gospel to the people, this comes from the Course in Miracles, they said, well, what will we say? What will we say? They were told, I will tell you when I get there. I'm going to leave that with you. Feel that. Sometimes we don't know what to do when we get there. There is a divine knowing, a guidance. It will tell us when we get there, but we have to show up. And I love that. I love that. Those moments we say, I don't know if I'm up to this. I don't know if I can do this. It doesn't matter. I will tell you when you get there, but go with love. My spirit will tell you what to say and what to do and what to be. Yours is to hear the call. So when you see that moment of how can I help here? What can I do? When you feel those questions floating through your consciousness, say, yes, I stand here to be a part of the healing of what's going on in the world right now. Now, they refer to that. This is another part of Mary Mann and Morrissey. Boy, we did a really good treatment before we came on stage, didn't we? Boy. Mary Ann Williamson, she talks about those 3 days in the tomb. So she's reminding us we're sort of in tomb time. We can be the ones that determine how long that is, really. It's like the 40 days in the desert, any of those pauses of an experience from one to the other, from the crucifixion to the resurrection. That's that time sometimes where we have to meet our own fears, where love seems to, as these are Williamson's words, where love has taken hostage. We're in violation of what is happening. We have to look at it and know it doesn't have any power over us. That's the beauty. Because remember, root yourself in the spiritual principle of knowing love has got your back. When you get there, you will know. So that idea that love and forgiveness and compassion can fill us, and we will know what to do. We will be told what to do when we get there. Brene Brown tags on to this saying, spirituality is recognizing and celebrating that we are all inextricably connected to each other by a power greater than all of us, and that our connection to that power and to one another is grounded in love and compassion. When we're looking for compassion, we need someone who is deeply rooted, able to bend, and most of all, we need someone who embraces us for our strength, for our struggles. They can embrace us, hold us. We need to honor our struggle by sharing it with someone who has earned the right to hear it. When we're looking for compassion, it's about connecting to that right person at the right time about the right issue. Now, the class that I just finished up, there was a very powerful process where we spoke our vulnerabilities to one another. But we said it in a voice of the whisper, and all the other feedback was, I hear you, I see you. You speak your vulnerability to a trusted friend, and I guarantee they will look you in the eye. They won't try to fix you, but they'll hold the greatest love and compassion. I see you. I hear you. It's all we want. It's all we really want in order to move forward if our feet are stuck in the mud. Out beyond those ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is this field. We're going to meet there. Earnest Holmes, our highest satisfaction comes from a sense of conscious union with this invisible life, finding such an inward wholeness that all sense of fear and doubt and uncertainty simply vanishes. Who would not want that? Who would not want that as we continue to move through our experiences? Because we're united in this love field. So there was a little takeout from Elaine Yusoff that she kind of was telling a story about how this poem of Rumi's has become such a teacher to her. And she describes it in this way. He established a firm reality. Black and white are man-made. We are familiar with the beautiful and the ugly, the good and the bad, the true and the false. However, below the surface of black and white, there is a gray space that we fail to see, a space that is void of conflict. And we tend to judge the situations that occur in life and label them. I don't like this, this is bad, this one's good. This is our dualistic mind. This is the nature that sections off things by our emotions and our thoughts and through the events. And we automatically just follow it. This mental division is the main reason behind our inner and outer conflict. This is the place where we want to sit with ourselves in spiritual devotion and practice, to look at what we have labeled and what we have judged and recognize there is an absolute connectedness. I want to be on the path of enlightenment. There is no real each other. It won't make sense anymore when we actually finally internalize this idea of oneness with everything and everyone. In our own minds, we might think that we're separate from the animals or nature, the bug on the ground that you just squished. You might feel like you're separate from it. Candy corn. We're not separate from anything. This truth is we all are coming from the same source of energy. And you want to realize this oneness and let go of your judgment as soon as they come up. Start seeing everything as a part of you and step into a higher realization that does not know. and opposition. And she ended her thought reflections. I suffered a lot in the past for failing to let go of labels. Rumi writes that beyond these labels, these distinctions lies a serene place. This is where we should all meet each other. And so I have just a few moments left to share with you some of the wisdoms about, if I could do it justice, where the two are one. Where the two are one. When we have these riddles in the verses and the scriptures that come our way, when two are one, I kept thinking, what? Two are one. I want to know what that means. I kind of sort of get a grasp, but not fully. So Greg Braden, I'm going to lead you through just a couple of passages of his, because he speaks to this realm as well. If there is, in fact, an invisible realm of existence that is the source of our everyday experiences, and if we have the ability to access this realm to change what ultimately happens in our lives, it changes everything we've been led to believe about ourselves and the world. And in that change, we are empowered to participate in the outcome of things that matter most to us in life. When we look at the everyday expression of our spiritual and material abundance, our relationships, our careers, physical health, our deepest love, our greatest achievements, as well as our fears and the lack of all of these things, we may, in fact, be looking squarely at the mirror of our truest and sometimes most unconscious beliefs. We see them in our surroundings because they are made manifest through a field of this energy that exists everywhere at all times and connects all things. From the Tao, just as we see in the Vedic scripture, the Tao is all that is. It is the container of all experience as well as the experience itself. The Tao, described as perfect, like vast space where nothing is lacking and nothing is in excess. Ming, it's only when we disturb the tranquility of the Tao through our judgments that its harmony eludes us. When the inevitable does happen and we find ourselves enmeshed in the feelings of anger and separation, this text offers the guidance to remedy this. Come directly into harmony with this reality. Just simply say, when doubt arises, not to, in this, not to. Nothing is separate, nothing is excluded. We must create a new disturbance in the field, one that mirrors our greater desire. This is working our relationship with the quantum essence of all things. And then finally, when we have an attachment to a particular outcome, which we often do, we can only have that attachment by comparing our experience to something else. And it's through that comparison that we fall into the ancient trap of judgment. We tend to hold our experience in the light of what someone else has accomplished and judge our success or failure by making the comparison. The question that we must ask ourselves is who or what we should use as our point of reference. I remember Dr. James told me that years ago when I was feeling low about myself, and he said, which end of the measuring stick are you pointing to? Whose measuring stick are you even using? And it was really a profound moment for me to realize that what good was what I was doing to myself. And the answer is everything other than our own direct experience when we have been given insight into the source of our judgment. In the absence of comparing our accomplishment of anything in life to another person, which that's when we make the two one, when we can stop doing that. All that remains is our effort to do better. And if we truly have done the very best in that moment, this is the powerful words of Jesus regarding the two, one. The two, one. So just that, just when the two are one, I have found that chanting through my head to remember that I am choosing now to see the oneness in all experiences. Now, the women had a fabulous retreat last week, and I wish I could take you all there. It was very profound. We were held in the refuge of great love, where we dismissed all news. We didn't care about vaccinations. We didn't care about COVID. On a certain level, we just showed up. And I want to share with you a testimony of that. As Judy plays the background, I want you to hear the words of Cher Matthews. She came home. She had an incredible experience. Now, for Cher to have an incredible experience, she's one of my sages I turn to because of her wisdom and her power to say, it's all love. It's all love. This field is all love. And I love her for that. When I see Cher, we are one. So these are her words. So close your eyes and feel it. Feel her journey. Argo, ego, I go. Leaving the planet for good is not for the faint of heart. Leading someone else to their final destination is even harder. The fact of the matter is, none of us gets out alive. So how do we let go and let the divine flow without any clinging, grasping, holding? And how do we let others go, help others let go when we are here to stay a while longer? How do we do that? Ram Dass says, to be a loving rock, a rock of loving awareness. Just be, don't do. She just came back from Malta last week, and there were a lot of rocks and ruins. Those rocks have been present all along to the tumultuous past the small island has endured, and the rocks are all still there, broken but present. I took several and put them in my pocket, present in loving awareness. Maybe this will help me let go of doing and just be present with what is unfolding. A rock may seem cold, detached, and unaware. They're all around us, but they aren't sentient beings. They don't have attachments, labels, or any need to control the landscape around them. Maybe I can learn something from this rock from Malta that has seen it all. Just be present, a silent witness. Our lives are but a whisper in the wind. We take form. We accept identifying labels, create egos, and live our lives out to make a difference. The ego is attached to the form of who we are, who we think we are. We wear our hair a certain way. We create a style of being ourselves so we can be seen as individuals in our own special way. We may collect objects of space and of spaces and places we have been to show our path of going and doing. We surround ourselves with the cumulative material world of our journey to demonstrate we matter. And all of it, every atom, every essence, we still dissolve back in to the one. So what is the point? Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, Argo. A large constellation south of Canis Major is made up of stars. Maybe we all come from the stars, stardust to stardust. Everything is energy. Energy can't be created or destroyed, and it can only be transformed. And as we stardust take form as matter and in a blink of an eye are gone again into the vastness of all that is, a better visualization is a raindrop, dropping into the vastness of the ocean to immediately disappear like a tear in the rain. So what is all this holding on to form or our dear life all about? That's the question, and I have no verifiable answer. I imagine we come from the source of all that is, and are individualized beings of light. We are experiencing the essence of being, since the source is non-being of divine light. Perhaps this is the way source gets to experience this dimension, a fun thought. But truly, I have no idea. I do know that I have absolutely no fear when it's my time to go. I will return to love and light. That is all there is. Love is the only thing we take with us when we leave. I think that's the answer to the question. Love takes form as us, experiences the essence of matter and material form as our individual lives, and then, like the raindrop in the ocean, returns to source. That comforts me and keeps the love alive. Love is all there is. I am grateful. Thank you, Cher. I see you. I hear you. I see all of you. We are here for one another. That's what love does. Thank you.
Seek ye first the kingdom of God and its righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. Ask and it shall be given unto you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and the door shall be opened unto you. Hallelujah. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and its righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Hallelujah. Ask and it shall be given unto you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and the door shall be opened unto you.
But don't we have an incredible choir? Big sound. So there was one announcement I forgot. I'm going to find it. And it was just a reminder that we have our spiritual music jam coming up on November 12th. And that's going to be here in the sanctuary. It's led by Michael Harris and Steve Smith. And 7 to 8:30, and it's all instruments. So last time, it was primarily drums and bongos, but, we invite all musicians, all instruments to come and just enjoy making sound and having fun. And last time it was a wonderful experience. I felt shifted for several days, and so it was pretty profound, and so just want to make sure you mark that on your calendar. And then the other reminder is just all the classes coming up, as Reverend Mary, Dr. Mary and Sue talked about. Just make sure you check those out. So now we're going to move into the offertory. I'd like to invite the ushers forward. And So if you want to join with me in our affirmation, gratefully I give with an attitude of abundance. For I know as I give, I do receive. And so it is. So please join with me in giving thanks for this incredible blessing, for the gifts of your heart, the gifts of your finances, the gifts of your time. We recognize and appreciate and accept each and every gift in all forms. And so we know that this is a giving and receiving, that this goes back out into the community, and it makes the light brighter for as it shines from here out into our greater community and draws so many more in consciousness and in physical form. So we give great thanks for the sanctuary of this place and the love that pours into this place, always flowing in and flowing back out. So I release this acknowledgement, this knowing, and into the law we give great pleasure to say, and so it is. So it is. So we're going to have a final song by the choir. We really appreciate you being here. You sound wonderful. And Morgan, you're doing a wonderful job. And thank you, Judy, for the piano. And thank you, Lindy, for being in the sound booth. And so, well, I just thank everybody. So Dr. Mary and will be available for prayer treatment if you just want to see us, whether it's for assistance in something or you just want to treat for good. So thank you so much and have a wonderful day.
that's what